Hey, what's up? Apparently, if you use pineapple juice to make your sourdough starter, you're gonna get it baking ready in half the time. Too good to be true. Let's give it a try, shall we?
First of all, let's cut the pineapple. Alright, shh, I make it less painful. And like so, the head peels off like a piece of cake. You already knew that, right? Cut in half, peels off. No need to be perfect, don't worry about it, because we're gonna use the skin later. And we're gonna save this to make tepache later, a probiotic Mexican drink. More on that later. Now the pineapple chunks into the mixer, juice it up, and voila, natural pineapple juice. Now let's make a starter. Same amounts of flour and pineapple juice. And make sure to get all the juice out. Mixy until you have something like this. Lid up, let's put it somewhere warm and hope for a good fermentation. And with pineapple skins, little bit of sugar and water, I'm gonna make a natural soda like this later. I'm gonna share the tepache recipe someday soon on this channel, maybe this year. Stay tuned and make sure to subscribe my channel. And 12 hours later, believe it or not, this is my starter. I mean, what in the world going on here? I have no idea. These are bubbles forming on the top of the batter? Very interesting. I mean, usually it takes 3 to 4 days to reach to this point. Anyway, let's feed it. Throw the half of the batter and again feed it with same amounts of flour and pineapple juice. This is how the batter should looks like. This time I'm gonna mark it up, cause probably it's gonna rise. Put it somewhere warm in your kitchen and store the pineapple juice into the fridge to use it up later. And the next beautiful morning, I mean only the first day, we have some rice here. And my pineapple fizzy drinks also get fizzy. And that's the magic of fermentation in hot climate. So if you are living in cooler climates, you need proofing box, or you can put the starter inside the oven with the light on. But be careful, make sure to not turn on the oven accidentally. Alright, stop talking and let's feeding the starter. Again, throw half of the batter, feed it with same amount of juice and flour. I will put every details in the description in case you confused with my explanation. Mixy, lid up, mark it up, and put it somewhere warm again. And less than 10 hours later, I mean, what is this, my friend? I mean, why no one ever told me about this trick before? What? The starter is double its size on first day of feeding. This is crazy, my friend, with lots of bubbles and fermentation.
I'm really surprised. It's just first day, and this is only second feeding. Is it real or it's a fake rice? I believe if I feed it with little bit of rye flour, I'm gonna get huge rice tomorrow. Let's see. But let me make it clear so you don't get confused. My room temperature is very high. I am living in East Asia. 28 degrees Celsius. Dealing with any kind of fermentation, temperature plays the main role. Obviously, the other countries, it's winter time, so you need a proofing box or you need to put your starter somewhere warm, maybe inside the oven with the light on. But get one of these thermometers so you can check the temperature.
And this is literally my third feeding. Can be 30 grams of each, starter, flour, and pineapple juice. Mixy. The consistency is a bit thicker and that's also a good sign. And the next beautiful morning, I thought it's gonna be triple its size as I used a little bit of rye flour, but obviously I made a mistake. But still, for the second day, it's amazing. I'm gonna start feeding it with just normal water and bread flour. Because I think it's gonna get acidic in this hot climate. The starter is active, but it's a bit runny after just 5 to 6 hours. It's second day afternoon. Same amounts of flour and water, 30 gram flour, 30 gram water, and 30 gram starter. Clean up the jar a little bit. Put the mark to see how it rises. It's more active, so it's gonna rise faster. After 5 hours at night, lots of bubbles and fermentation going on here, but we don't have that much rice. What is the reason? Yep, I was right. It's getting acidic. That's why I'm gonna adjust the feeding ratio according to this situation. This time I'm gonna feed it with more flour and water. So now I have 10 grams of a starter to 30 gram of flour and 30 gram of water. In case your starter is so runny at this stage, you can feed it with a little bit more flour, like 35 grams instead of 30 grams. And that's because my room temperature is very high today. And on third day's early morning, voila, the starter has rejuvenated. We see a very nice rice here. It's foamy, bubbly, and super active. But to me, it's still a bit runny, so I'm gonna feed it one more time with the same ratio, maybe 90% hydration, 30 gram starter, 30 gram water, 35 gram flour. If you got confused, this is day 3, early morning. And 6 hours later, we have a very fast rise here, my friend, with that feeding ratio. I mean, I changed the feeding ratio already to 1:3:3. And look at it. Now we talk. That's it. I'm 100% sure it's gonna surprise us. So let's feed it and wait for 5 hours and boom. I mean, look at it. Triple its size. There you have it. Gain fermentation surprises me. I guess that's why they call it baking science. And believe it or not, it's still rising, my friend. That's crazy. Look at that dome top. But let me mention one more time about the temperature, which was the main reason for this fast fermentation. You know, the starter is super active when it's triple its size. And smells not very acidic anymore, because I feed it with 1:1:3 ratio. I guess we are all set. Let's make a bread, shall we? In cooler climate, you might reach here, get the sourdough starter baking ready up to 6 to 7 days or even more. You need to hear this sound, and this is the consistency that we want. Airy, bubbly, and it's not runny anymore. This is day 4, and the question is, does this young, beautiful starter made with pineapple juice gonna make a beautiful sourdough bread? Let's find out together. Nothing fancy, my regular sourdough bread recipe, 7 gram salt, 70 gram starter, 250 gram water, 350 gram flour, mixy until there is no more dry spots. Once you add a shaggy dough like this, cover it up and let the time to do the rest of the job. Set the time for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes later, time to give this bad boy a set of stretch and fold. Bring a bowl of water close to you and a scraper to release the dough if you need it. I'm gonna grab each side, lift it up, and fold it to the center. Again, this is not a recipe video, we just want to put this starter on test to see how it works. And then I'm gonna get fancy, lift the dough a couple of times, round it up inside the bowl. Gorgeous. Again, I'm gonna let it rest for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, same thing gonna happen. The dough already gained some beautiful strength. Another set of stretch and fold. I'm gonna put it on fast forward because I'm not gonna waste your time. This is not a recipe video. Again, round the dough up inside the bowl. Look how gorgeous it is. If you adjust the hydration according to the flour you are choosing to bake with, you're gonna get the same result. Cover it up, this time going to rest for 45 minutes. 45 minutes later, time to give this bad boy 2 sets of coil fold. That was the first set. Wet up your hand as much as you need. This is the last fold and we don't want to push the dough. Make sure to be very gentle at this stage. Some bubbles already forming on the surface of the dough.
I'm gonna go for shorter bulk fermentation as today is so hot, and probably younger starter going to be more active.
To be exact, after 1 hour and 45 minutes, the bulk fermentation done its job beautifully. Release the dough from the bowl. Beautifully use the scraper if it sticks to the counter. And with very gentle touch, I'm gonna round this bad boy one more time on the counter. And this was pre-shape. Let it sit on the counter for 15 minutes, uncovered of course. Shaping time. I can say the dough fermented beautifully and it's super airy now. So I'm gonna stick to a very simple shaping method. Fold 2 sides overlapping each other. Turn the dough, time to roll it and tuck it towards yourself. Make sure to seal the edges. Now into the banneton or basket. Before transfer it into the fridge for cold proofing overnight, check the temperature, 25 degrees Celsius. It's an ideal temperature after bulk fermentation. The next beautiful morning on day 5, I'm gonna bake this bad boy. Although poke test after cold proofing, it's not 100% accurate, but I'm still doing it. On a baking mat or baking paper, score it confidently with 45-degree angles. Into the preheated oven, bake at 230 degrees Celsius with lots of steam of course. To know more about my baking adjustment, check the other videos on my channel. And there you have it. Let me introduce you this beautiful loaf of sourdough bread which has made with a 4 days old starter. Just 4 days, my friend. Unbelievable. But hold on, we don't know yet. Let's cut into it to see how's the crumb, shall we? Pineapple starter. Was it a success? Absolutely. Is using this trick speed up the process? Yes. Does this help you to maintain a super active starter? I mean, does it guarantee anything? No. You need to still work on that part. Learn about the fermentation, temperature, adjust the feeding ratio, the hydration. You need a little bit of practice to get it right. Like always, keep baking and take a good care of yourself.